Hello and welcome to another Forgotten North Gaming Podcast. Full house. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening, mate.
Evening.
That definitely wasn't the second time we've tried that after I messed up the first recording. Definitely not really smooth. Well, so you guys join us on the second of our Arcane Journal series. So the first one we recorded were the Tomb Kings, because we obviously did the best first. And now we will begin moving on to the real filth of the old world. The Bretonnians.
The Peg Knights.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Peg Knight faction.
I mean, it's that filled with my Scott hasn't played them yet.
How dare you, sir?
You even feigned injury to get a free army.
No, I was injured in a workplace and was compensated accordingly. And secondly, I haven't played them yet because there's so many Brett players. It can almost put us off playing with Tomb Kings, as you well know.
I heard a rumour that it was because your wife hadn't painted them yet and you punished her last weekend for that.
Well, Stan, I'm not denying that or confirming that if more of my models had been glued together and painted, she may or may not have been as indebted as she currently is. I'm neither confirming nor denying. There was vicious rumours that you started about me.
Next time I see Phil, I have to just tell her if she needs it, just to text me or Stan.
Just text you, Angela. Is that what they say? Is that what the code is?
Angela's at the bars, isn't it, for help?
When we go over next weekend, it'll be like a psycho moment.
You're not going to say I'll have her locked away.
Just in case any law enforcement are watching.
Yeah, this is a joke. Yes, so onto the Bretonnian Arcane Journal. Much like, exactly the same as every other Arcane Journal, it's got 2 amendments to the army list and then a couple of special characters. So,
a couple of new units.
Yeah. I forgot about the new units, to be honest, because I don't think my army's got any of them in. In fact, it hasn't.
Because you just looked at Peg Knights. They're not new Peg Knights, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't need to juice this thing up. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, with that in mind, we will move along smoothly into the first of the new army compositions, which is Bretonnian Exiles. And this one, I think we both agree, gents, is different.
It's the winner.
Well, I think so, yeah. I think it's a very powerful list. The big one. So you lose the capacity to get a Duke. So you can't have the Uber Lord.
Yeah, you're back to 8th edition Lord.
Yeah, your Lord's still better than an Empire Lord.
No offence, I'm better than an Empire Lord. You have got math knees.
Yes, I think you're probably right. You probably are. No Duke, no level 4 prophetesses allowed. Well, no prophetesses at all allowed.
Yeah.
They instead get outcast wizards, which are essentially Empire wizards, but only up to level 3. I mean, not quite Empire wizards, but that's the best initial description of them.
Yeah, it's a human level 3 wizard with a lot more lore access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And worse miscast.
Yes. Core is fairly standard, relatively, for Bretts, except you need up to 33%.
But lose the plane.
No, 25%.
Ah, it's only 25%. Yeah, sorry, I missed that myself, actually.
You're used to your Tomb King tax.
The next one we were talking about still has the 33%. So actually, that's quite big that Exiles have that. But you're right, the biggest downside to Exiles is that they lose the Blessing of the Lady.
Yeah. But in core, going back to core, they get the Yeoman Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I really rate.
Yeah, I think, and then obviously the words the special is sort of peg knights and some other stuff.
And interestingly, special and rare are both 33%.
Yeah, that is big, because also in rare you have the option for trebuchets. You don't get Grail Knight options anymore, but you do get the option for Border Prince bombards, which are essentially great cannons.
It's a very old school Brett style when you get your bombards again.
Yeah, yes, it's really is sort of old school Brett style, isn't it?
Yeah.
The bombards have got the best misfire table in the game.
Do they have a separate one to the regular Black Missile?
Yep.
Do they? Ah.
Yeah, they have a slightly different one.
Oh, I see.
It's good to be different.
I just saw cannon, thought, get in there, boys.
On a 6, on their misfire, it still fires.
Any
Really?
downside, or just you still fire?
It still fires.
So on a
Outrageous.
6, there's no downside. You don't lose a wound or anything.
It can't shoot the next round.
Ah, right. So you still shoot this round. Oh, that's really good, actually.
Yeah, that's probably a better option because next round everything might be too close anyway.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah.
It can't pivot, can it? Or can it pivot?
Yeah, no, can pivot. It's a standard war machine.
But it's a skirmisher anyway, so it's 360 vision.
Aye.
I didn't know if it had a rule that said it's fixed and doesn't move or anything in there.
No.
No, same. The Treb can't move.
So I think once you get through the lack of the ward...
Right, so I think go on to the actual army rules.
The actual army rules, I think this is where it gets really good, isn't it?
Yeah, some lovely changes.
I love the... So into the army special rules there... Ooh, go down a little bit more, sorry. You've got the...
So you can't have the Grail
Can't
Vow.
have the Grail Vow. But you can replace the Knightly Vow with the Exile's Vow for free on essentially any Knight characters or units, which I think is phenomenal.
Immense.
Yeah.
And the Exile's Vow is where you get Stubborn and Veteran, which is just... What an amazing combination of special rules.
Yeah. You take either of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Veteran's probably one of the... Yeah, I mean, you're right. As a combination, they're just outrageous. Like, so good. And if you can get your ward save back as well, can't you? Which is the
you can't
glory.
You can't pray at the start of the game.
No, you don't have a ward save.
But the only way you get it back if you kill an enemy character in a challenge.
Run down a fleeing unit.
Yeah, or destroy a unit.
Yeah. I mean, what a combo though. Like I know at first glance people might think, oh, that lack of a prey, but I'd forego the 6-up ward for the special rules that brings.
Yeah. In the mirror match against a Grand Army, they're sitting there with no ward, and you can't get yours.
It's the that chance that you can go first as well, and especially if you take some of the war machines and embrace that side of the army list, then not only have you got the threat, a lot of the threat that Bretts naturally bring with their ranged charge, etc. You also have the actual ranged threat of cannons.
It changes the maths on the game. Someone can't sit back and just ping shots at you.
Yeah. I mean, not that Bretts really struggle with large monsters or anything traditionally, but it gives them another option to kill those sort of things to free up your lords to be off doing other wild stuff.
I think it's just jury's out whether it's stronger than the Grand Army, but my gut is saying I prefer it to the Grand Army.
Have you played against one? I've played Bretts a few times, but I've only ever played Grand Armies. I've never played.
I played against
the Arcane ones.
I played against one at TC.
I played against one at Leodis.
So I've only played normal Bretts.
the TC was a big 7-man block of Peg Knights with both characters in, and he got first turn, and it was in my face.
Yeah, and one of the things you've got access to as well is
The Vanguard banner.
a magic banner that gives a unit Vanguard, and that on a Peg Knight unit that can then get a chance of going first is just incredible. Like, incredible synergy.
Even if it's just the threat of it.
No, I think that's the point for me. It's less about what it does per se, and more about what it can do.
Yeah, and it gives you even that, it gives you it's a 10-inch redeploy.
Yeah. I mean, Vanguard on a skirmishing unit that can move in any direction is incredible.
Yeah.
No, it's a skirmishing unit that is also your biggest sort of threat unit.
Yeah.
As well, if you build it that way, which is amazing.
And because it's a banner and it gives it to the unit, it means that any character that joins the unit gets Vanguard as well.
Yeah.
It's like an old school Death Star starting again, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It definitely is. It's just a crazy mobile speed.
And it's hard to get rid of it because obviously cannon you might hit 1, maybe 2.
Yeah.
There's no reliable way of getting rid of that many multi-wound, decent armor save, monstrous cav.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's
because you're going to get 1 turn and then it's wherever it wants to be.
Aye. Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? So that's their special rules. Then the other army list is the Errantry Crusade, which I think has a lot of flavour to it.
It reminds me a lot of the old Bretonnian list our good friend Steve used to run.
Yeah.
Aye. It's just shitloads of knights that run forward. I mean, it's so you can still have your Duke, you can still have the Baron or Prophetess 1 per 1,000 points. You can still you must have 1 Paladin minimum in the list.
Yeah, you struggle to fit in a Duke, a Baron, and a Paladin.
Yeah.
If you want wizards as well, it's a lot of points. Yeah.
But otherwise, good selection of a good. It's got everything you want in your character selection.
So the problem comes at core.
Yes, because it's 33%. You have the core tax, and you must have a minimum of 1 unit of Knights Errant per 1,000 points.
Yeah. So you're packing 2 units of Knights Errant.
You just take them in blocks of 6, though, don't you?
You take them, but they're still not cheap.
And it's like, no. Yeah. You'll see what I take them in blocks of.
I was only with just 1 massive block where I was like, no, it's going to get wind blasted off the board.
Yeah, someone like Stan's going to scuttle forward and wind blasting off the board.
And then Battle Pilgrims, who are,
yeah.
They have a data sheet with some rules on it.
Yeah, they do. They exist.
They're lovely models.
Yeah, they are
lovely models.
They look great on the shelf. It's about where they go.
Aye, yeah. Question Knights, Peg Knights, Battleground, sort of in special. The other, what's interesting about their core choice is that you don't have to take any peasants in an Errantry Crusade.
No, you don't.
And I like that.
You don't take peasants.
Unless you're Liam, in which case you only take peasants.
That's why he doesn't do crusades.
that is why he doesn't go off crusade.
He stays at home with the kids.
I do really... And then obviously in array you've got Grail Knights and maximum of 1 field treb.
Which I don't think really fits the theme, personally.
No, I think I like... If I was to go Errantry Crusade, and I did look at it when we were coming up with our theoretical lists, I really like it in the fact that I feel it's a real traditional, a traditional Brett list. Everything's on a horse. No peasants. We're just knights.
I think it's similar to how my old Brett list was, probably in 7th and very beginning of 8th. There's probably not too much difference in my old list and this list.
Yeah.
For all we mock it, I think it does have legs, but you've got to just give in to the fact it's full send.
You've just got to embrace it.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Like
a lot of the all cavalry lists we've seen.
Yeah.
Or we're going to see as the series goes on.
Yeah, you just got to embrace the fact that it's a send list. Like you're gonna go forward, embrace the fact you're impetuous, and just off you go.
Off you go, and hope you don't bounce.
Aye, yeah. Well, that takes us into the army special rules then. Characters gain the Crusader Zeal special rule, and if they've got the Knight special rule, the Knight's Vow, sorry, they can swap it for Crusader Vow for free.
Yeah.
Crusader Zeal is that you increase your maximum charge range by 1 and, unsurprisingly, add +1 to the charge roll. However, you get impetuous.
Which, on your...
And he's just like, I don't care. We're going to charge regardless.
Everything else is impetuous.
If you just take errands, it doesn't matter because they're impetuous anyway. So it's a flat-out bonus for them and knackers anything else.
Yeah.
Aye. And I think the Crusader's Vow as well, to be fair, you get Veteran.
Which is a solid choice.
Yeah, and you like the Knight's Vow, you're immune to panic from peasants, but as we've discussed, you're not taking peasants.
No. They're at the boat.
And then the last special rule on it could be really interesting, but not the current meta.
No, I think as things develop and we do, like we've talked, move into more sort of special like scenarios or capture the table where you need banners, their special rule that every banner that captures with 100 victory points is excellent.
If it changes and you start seeing units, more units with banners, yeah.
I also like the fact that you can, if you're within 6 inches of some of the Grail Vow, you can reroll natural 1s to hit,
which is massive.
I think so, and that is why you
the bounce and the rubber lances as much because it's more reliable.
Yeah, well, it means that with a character in there with the Grail Vow, and or a unit of Grail Knights, like actually you can make that charge much more reliable, which is what you need when your army's about full send.
Yeah.
When I was looking at it, I was thinking rerolling 1s is essentially maths-wise a +1.
Yeah, effectively.
So you just go, right, I'm going to go errands and just take bare bones paladins in every unit.
Oh, with the Grail Vow for the +1 for the reroll 1s.
Yeah,
like a pop champion upgrade.
Yeah.
And it essentially makes your errands Knights of the Realm.
Yeah, effectively. But no, I think as we'll come on to when we go through our lists, like, I didn't go for errantry, but very tempting though, to be honest. I actually think it's a really fun looking list, and you just got to embrace it.
Yeah,
as I'm sure Andy will talk through with his list, who absolutely did go errantry because he's all about charging on turn 1.
If I can get charged turn 1, you know I'm going.
Yeah, I do. It's upsetting us a lot.
If you want to go to a tournament and play Brett's and just have an easy, I'm not going to play big brain, I'm just going to have fun, you take
I think Errantry Crusade looks a genuinely fun army to play.
I think Errantry is more Bretonnian. I think the Outcast is more Border Prince.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Exactly right.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
It gives you a lot more free reign with the Border Prince list to make it a lot more thematic, a lot more. You can make it evil if you want. You can make it good. It's got that full flexibility of you can be almost an undead Bretonnian force because it's Border Prince. Do what you want. I
actually think both of these lists are like usable, interesting lists. In my opinion.
So I've seen someone use the Outcast list on like Facebook, not in games, but use it as like a modelling thing to do the Musalon army.
Yeah, I think I've seen that on Facebook as well. That is really cool.
It fits the theme better than a standard Bretonnian list does.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think it lets you, like you said, theme things quite really well. And if you're really into the modelling side of the hobby, like lots to embrace with these. With both as well, actually, I think if you go errantry, you can really lean into the whole concept of crusade, like a really nice uniform army with maybe picking out the grails and the characters differently would really set it off, I think.
They're both less French, which is the main thing.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a plus.
No, I think
We don't have French viewers, do we?
I wouldn't. No, we don't. No. Sacre bleu.
the balance between the two armies is better in this book than it is in the Tomb King's book.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, because I think that the Royal Host at Women Battle was fun and interesting, but you're never going to take it. It's rubbish.
On the Royal Host, have you seen the S-Bot?
No.
There is crazy lunatics running the 160, 180 Royal Host list.
Of course there is. Well, we'll talk about that another time.
I feel good about only having 90.
Bad man. But yeah, I think both these lists, I think, to come back to it, both fun, both bring some nice adjustments to the Brett list that you'd actually want to play.
Yes, yeah.
I think you'd look at both of these lists and think, no, I would actually play that. So before we go in, do we go into the units and special characters, or do we go into our lists and then circle back?
We'll go into our lists and hit them as they come up in our lists.
Okay. So then,
Surely no one's taking filthy special characters.
So with that in mind, this is Stan's exile list. So
here we go.
Here we go.
We've gone for the Baron.
You mean you're the only real Lord option?
Yeah. Amazingly on a Royal Pegasus.
Shocked. Were you shocked, Andy?
To the core.
Yeah.
This'll throw you. Heroism.
Did not see that coming.
But there I've taken 2 of the lucky heirlooms on them.
That's when you really want that kill and blow on him.
Yeah, it's a once per round reroll, a hit, wound, armor, or ward save.
Yeah. I like that.
And the comments, so you can take 2 of them. You can take multiple of them.
Yeah.
So you can either fish for your killing blows or your saves. Then following up, a second Baron. Again, Royal Peg. Yeah, no, it's horrible. He's taken the Frontier Axe.
I love that item. You may or may not see that in my exiles list when we next go through it.
So just for those that don't know, it's Strength +2, AP 3, magical attacks, multi-wounds 2, and requires 2 hands.
But it's cheaper than the Ogre Blade. It's cheaper than the Ogre Blade.
It's 30 points. It's the
AP
3.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was more expensive.
No, it's ridiculously cheap. Like, actually, from a reliability point, it's better than the Ogre Blade. The only downside is it's 2 hands.
Yeah. Then he's got the Falcon Horn because
only your people can fly and nobody else is allowed to.
Exactly. Okay. The Gauntlet of the Jewel because I had 5 points spare.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
So you
not
can't
bad item, actually.
Well, on that he can take out a character quite easily, and he's got Nightly Temper. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Then we've gone for the Outcast Wizard, level 3, on foot, with Low Familiar and Ruby Ring on Battle Magic.
You just want to throw columns of fire around, don't you?
Fireballs, columns of fire, yeah, that's...
Well, in fact, it means he's got double... Because you've got Low Familiar, I mean, you're going to have double Fireball and...
Column of Fire.
Column of Fire, plus a spell.
Well, he's going to be taking the ward.
Yeah.
Then into core, 6 Knights of the Realm.
Yeah.
Times 2.
Yeah.
Then 29 Yeoman Guard with the pole arms, shields, light armor, both champions, the musician, and a war banner.
Nice. A lot of
So-
static combat res in there.
I'm
The
assuming that's where
yeoman
the
guard
goes.
are weapon skill 3. The polearm gives them either a spear or a halberd.
Yeah.
And the horde, so their weapon skill, their static combat res of
3 for horde, 4 for a banner, 5 for war banner, 6 for close order.
and then a musician.
So yeah, six static.
Yeah, so they can challenge out a dragon.
Lose by 1 though.
3, 4. Yeah.
I mean,
If the dragon's fighting them,
if the dragon's fighting them, you're good. The only lose by books you haven't got the extra pips in that you have with that Empire unit that I like to run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got a BSB in there.
Yeah, that's the only difference really. Otherwise, it's it's still 6 combat res. So take away like dragons anyway. That's a lot of combat res that people have to get through regardless.
Yeah, and the wizard can bunker in them and give them a 5 ward.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the other champion, they get stubborn.
Yeah, the Grail Monk. I like that.
So it's going to be a lot of work to churn through that. It's a tasty block. Then into the filth. 4 peg
filth.
knights with a champion, a standard bearer with the Vanguard banner.
Yeah, it's too good to not have on pegs.
Yeah.
How many pegs in that unit?
4. So they don't give protection to the characters.
Yeah.
Then another 4 peg knights with a champion as standard bearer and the banner which says no stand and shoot.
Again, a really good banner.
Especially on something that mobile.
Yeah.
And then finishing up the list with 2 cannons.
Bombards.
2 cannons.
It's like, look, I think it's a good list. It's a strong list.
I'm looking forward to getting it on the table. I have been working on it for a while.
Yes, unlike Andy or I, who've just put a theoretical list together, Stan is actually building this list.
For the record, I haven't got prep models sitting on the shelves. You could be putting your list together. You're just choosing not to.
It's because I'm a fluffy, fun guy.
Since when?
Always.
You had a stroke. Is that what it is? I think for one event we go to, we should write each other's lists.
No, because you'll do something really horrible to us. No. Stan just nearly threw up in his mouth.
Andy would hobble you, and Scott would go, "Oh, it's fluffy," and you would just feel dirty.
That's not it.
We feel like it's all over again.
There is no enjoyment in that concept.
Like Scott's new fluffy VC list.
Oh no! Look, that is not a fluffy list. I'm working on it to just tone it down a smidge and get some of that stuff in. Less screamy, more other stuff. And
I like
working
my
hard
list.
on it, to be fair.
Back onto the stopping. I like my list, but only having 12 mounted knights
Feels odd.
Yeah.
Not in one unit.
I think the point is the powerhouse of your list is the characters and the pegs, which is exactly the same powerhouse of regular Brits, and that's where the meta is at the moment.
Yeah. I think for me that's a very strong list.
I think it's a very strong list.
But anyway, that's enough of that. Phil,
So
what have you
my
read?
fluffy version of Exiles. So I have a Baron. He is also on a Royal Pegasus.
Handing them out as you're a Baron to a Royal Peg.
He has the Frontier Axe. He has the Virtue of Knightly Temper. And he's got the Talisman of Protection. I just fancy that little bit of ward on him.
Yeah.
Like early doors as well. Just that level of protection. I've then got another Baron on a peg. with the lucky
Royal peg or ordinary peg?
not royal peg, obviously. I'm not a monster. Normal peg, please.
Characters have normal pegs. Honestly, Stan, have you read this?
Is it even an option? I've not seen that.
Got his tick next out.
He's got a lucky heirloom, meaning I think I had the points. He's got the falcon horn of Fredimund, and he has the virtue heroism. So he's the lance wielding monster slayer. I then round out my character allowance with the Green Knight, and I have no magic users.
You got the Green Knight. That doesn't make up for it.
Green Knight.
I'm a fluffy, no magic using kind of guy.
You've got the Green Knight.
Are you not taking wizards because you found out you can't use the Green Knight in vortexes? Otherwise, you would have taken.
I don't know how you guys can say such horrible things about me on a regular basis. No
Everyone
magic.
says it.
This is no magic fluff.
To be fair,
that's why it's theoretical. You're never going to take a no magic list.
the Green Knight is good, but he's not broken.
I mean,
no, he's just very strong.
He's very strong. He's
like the opposite of he was in 8th, where you never saw him because he was pointless.
Yeah.
Now he's actually worth taking. My
core resembles Stan's core. I've got 2 blocks of Knights of the Realm, 6 big with champions, and that's it. And I've then got a block of 30 Yeoman Guard with champion, blessed Grail Monk with the triptych, standard bearer with the war banner. It's a very, very similar core.
Yeah, I think it's a good core.
I think it's a good, strong core.
You've just got one more man because you haven't got a wizard.
Yeah. He's the fluff guy.
Carrying a duster.
Because I'm fluff as well, I've then got 1 unit of Pegasus in my army because I'm a fluffy guy. I mean, there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
And they've got the Vanguard banner. Because,
Because why not?
It comes with the model.
It's rude not to. And then when my real fluff comes to light is that in rare I've gone for double bombard and a treb.
All the fluff in there.
It's no magic, so I need some threat.
The thing with the Green Knight is fair enough playing it something like our events when you know what's going to be on the table.
Yeah, you
But
know
what
you're getting
happens?
decent terrain.
Yeah.
What happens when you go to that event where there's no known terrain and you get that game where you start the game 200 points down?
Yeah, and as a fluffy player, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
That's the game where me and Stan come over and go, told you.
Yeah. Totally shut out, wizard.
Deserved.
I think it's probably a less... Lack of magic, to be fair, probably makes it, for an all-comers list, a less competitive list than yours, Stan. But I do think it looks fun. Like, I think having 3 crazy combat characters essentially is fun.
But essentially, that list, you potentially the Green Knight's popping up turn 1, closing down their magic because you've charged their wizard.
Yeah. I think it's got a lot of threat, and I think it could do very, very well, to be honest, in certain games.
My constructive criticism would be, I just don't trust one stone thrower.
Truth be told, so far this edition, especially off our last game, I'm not a fan of stone throwers, period, if I'm honest.
They're better when they can walk and throw rocks.
Yes. Yeah, they are. Yours are ridiculous.
Or they can redirect.
Or the Doom Dowers that can redirect. That's about it, though. I think Cygors are very good.
Yeah.
Because a misfire is not the end of the world for you. Like, you use a wound. Big deal.
It's going to take at least 6 misfires to kill you.
You literally have to misfire all game.
Yeah. And the fact that you can hide turn 1 and then go, you can't shoot me, now I'm going to walk around the corner and throw a rock.
Yeah.
And if you get close, it's still
It's all
4 strength attacks with Thunderstomp. It's still a solid defense. Whereas you can't throw light cav into it and think you're going to kill it easily.
Oh, not at all. I think we'll probably have a chat some point later when we really delve into war machines and what our thoughts are on them. But I put a Treb in there, but truth be told, I'm not actually a huge fan of Stone Throwers in this edition as of yet.
How many points is the Treb now?
100.
It's still like 90 points.
It's still
points.
cheap. It's still cheap. Yeah, 100 points. Same price as a Bombard. So I think when you compare the two of them, Bombards are better. Comfortably.
A version of my list had double Bombard, double Treb, but then I went 4 Peg Knights is better than...
Yeah.
Yeah, a version of this list, to be fair, had double Bombard, double Treb as well. Cause
I think for me, Bombards fit the theme of an Outcast list more than Trebs.
Yeah, no, I
Trebs
agree.
are more of a steam war machine than they ever are a Stone Thrower.
Yeah.
I think Bombard's been like a Border Prince Outcast list, just seems whether they've just nicked them off one of their Bretonnian warships and they just dragged the cannons off or whatever it is, but it seems more fitting.
No, I'm with you. Like from a theme point, I think Bombards fit the list better. I don't own a Trebuchet model, so like because I'm again fluffy guy. I do own many cannons though.
I think I've got a non-GW Treb you can probably have. I think I've got 2 of them for some reason.
I've got 2 metal Trebs sitting here.
Jesus Christ, they're actual weapons.
Yeah, no one wants to pin and glue them together.
Nah.
That's why they're in bags.
That said though,
here.
I do have the Halfling Brett army, and I've got the Halfling Hot Pots.
Which is are they a Bombard or a Trebuchet?
Oh, they'd have to be a Treb, wouldn't they, sadly?
I think they have to be a Bombard.
I would say Bombard.
Would you?
About
Oh, get in. I'm okay with that. But yeah, so that's my Exile list. I think it's I think probably it's less competitive than All-Comers, but I think when it works, it works. Would be me guess.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be fun to play it. I get what you're saying about the Green Knight, but I do think he can, on his day, be game winning comfortably.
I think there's somewhere in between our 2 lists where you go down to the single character.
You go one Baron, Green Knight, and the Wizard.
Yeah.
And the Green Knight works in a way because you may get that chance that you're going to go first.
Yeah.
Which makes him infinitely better if you get to go first for that turn.
Well, to be fair, when I did play an Outcast list at the Leonis event, he did go first, and the Green Knight came on turn 1.
Which is never a good day.
No, it was not good. It was a tough game from that point on, pulling it round for the win, to be fair. Tying up the Green Knight with foot troops was essentially the best I could do. So that's my Exile list, and then for a real change of pace, we're going to Andy's...
The fluffy list.
Actual fluffy list.
It is actually a fluffy list. I told you, I always take fluff.
Whoa,
I don't know what you're on about.
Whoa. Let's not get carried away.
To start off, we have a Duke, just because you 2 can't have one.
Yeah.
So he's got his normal equipment. He's got Royal Peg, Gromwell Great Helm, the Seal of Paravon, Syrian's Locket, and the Virtue of Heroism. He's just going forward.
It's a really good build.
Yeah. I think it's probably one of the better Duke builds you can get because he's just solid.
He's very tanky, and he's got heroism, so he can at any given moment he can kill anything in the game.
Yeah, hidden on 3s.
Yeah.
Aye. Like, it is an amazing build. To be fair,
yeah.
There's no 2 ways about it. Like in the current, especially in the current meta and all the rest of it, like, that is the build.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's 400 points, but he's got the ability to kill literally anything apart from chariots. But
yeah. Come on, the Royal Host.
Then we have, what have we got next? Paladin, Lance BSB, Battle Standard Bearer with the Errantry Banner, with the Crusader Clarion, which I cannot remember what that does. Let's have a look, because I can't remember.
And the Errantry Banner?
So the item he's got means that when he charges, the mount and all models all mount in a unit of +1 strength.
I quite like that.
And because let's face it, horses always hit more.
Oh, so they're always better than knights. Yeah.
So they might as well hit more with
strength
what they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It turns them into chaos mounts, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the Errantry Banner means the riders are an extra strength, so they're strength 6 on the charge.
Oh, I like that.
So strength 6 knights and strength 4 horses.
It means that unit's going to pack a punch on its charge.
Yeah. And if you keep them within range of the Lord with his Grail Vow, You're re-rolling your ones.
And the paladin will be up to strength 7.
Yeah, strength 7 for the paladin.
Spicy.
He's got his 3 attacks at strength 7.
Yeah. I like
Which
that.
is quite a
to be fair.
decent hitting unit.
I think for 137 points, that's a good solid character.
Yeah. I was looking at trying to get him the Grail Vow, but it's just getting the points in for that. And I was like, it's not the end of the world if he doesn't have it.
Yeah. You've got to drop something. At 2,000 points, you can't get everything in that you want.
No.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think you should have to sacrifice some things.
Yeah. Don't get all your toys.
Yeah.
And then finish on the character, they have the Prophetess, level 4 on a Warhorse with the Falcon Horn, Lore Familiar on Elementalism.
You love a bit of elementalism, don't you?
I think it's the ability to move your unit where you want. Yeah. You've got the ability to give like Wind Blast just to get units a bit further away from you, or angle stuff. I think it's just a good all-round lore.
I don't disagree. I know Stan feels the same. Like Elemental is such a good all-comers list. That's magic lore.
Again, to be the one that reigns on your parade, the Horn on the Prophetess, she's only leadership 8.
Mm-hmm. I've got faith, Stan. It's fine.
Hmm?
Leadership 8, you should still pass more often than you don't.
Yeah, because it is veteran, or is it stubborn that the list comes with?
She doesn't. No, she doesn't have it because she doesn't have the.
Yeah, no, but the knights, is it stubborn or veteran they get? Sorry,
they get veteran.
Veteran. So if you take it on a knight, they automatically get a reroll.
It's where you put it.
Yeah. 30 points, isn't it?
40.
40.
So you can't
put the Lord's not having it. The Paladin, if he has that, he's not making the horses better.
Yeah.
So it's her, or he doesn't go anywhere.
Andy's not dropping what makes the horses go better.
I know.
Well, the only other place I could have put it is the Grail Knight Champion.
Yeah, they're LD8 as well anyway, I think, aren't they?
No, I think they're LD9.
Oh,
I think they're 9, but he's got a different item, so he couldn't have it.
Fair enough.
So into the core, 10 Knight Errants, full command. They have the Banner of Shalons, which is no standard shoot.
Yeah. 10 Knight Errant, you wild bastard.
Then a Knight Errant unit of 9 with standard and champion, no musician, and no special banner. A unit of 10 Knights of the Realm with standard and musician. No, standard and champion, sorry, no musician. 3 Peg Knights just because they're too good not to have.
That core is just full. Sorry, I know you went on these. That core is full of big blocks of knights.
Yeah, it's just 3 units that are just going to run down the middle and go, there we go.
And then go on and go. Look, I mean, I've just scrolled down a bit. Just tell Stan what your final choices in Rare.
Is 9 Grail Knights with the champion with the Antlers of the Great Hunt, which means they ignore any penalties from move through cover. They get moved through cover. So I'm not slowing down to go through a wood. I'm not anything like that. So
you still charge from the lowest dice, though.
Well, yeah, but it's not. I'm not losing my movement.
Aye, and you keep your with Swift Stride as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and finest 4 horses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is just a list with 4 massive blocks of cav.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 blocks of cav, 3 Peg Knights just running around being a general nuisance.
I think three's enough to be an absolute pain in the arse, to be honest. Especially
it's the 360 that makes them the pain in the arse.
Aye. It's the 360, the Fly 10. Like, they're so flexible.
But those big blocks of knights, they're just
asking for a wind blast stand, aren't they?
You wouldn't go in Lance if you were facing double wind blast.
It's only Dark Elves that are realistically going to get in range for your wind blast as well.
Yeah, for turn 1.
Yeah, possibly Orcs with the increase in range.
Yeah. But
anything on a mount? Empire can do it.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Yeah, but you don't see it very often.
There's plenty of things. Anything where
also, the thing is, though, if you're building your army around that one threat, like to get Wind Blast in range of any of those units, they're going to be in range of your Dispel as well. So it's just a dice off.
And in range to charge you if you don't kill it.
Yeah, like they better hope they get it, and then their character's dead.
Well, even if they get the one unit, they're going to be charged by the other 3 units.
Yeah.
Or a bit annoyed that their friends have just been wind blasted off.
Yeah. Plus, obviously, whichever unit's got the prophetess in, she gives magic res, which is big.
Yes.
And do the Grail Knights come with magic res?
No. I don't think. No, there's always coming the Blessing of the Lady and the Grail Vow. So the immune to psychology, magic attack, stubborn, stuff like that, but nothing. And it also means the Grail Knights are another unit that gives me the ability to get anything ethereal out of the way. Apart from just...
Yeah.
Obviously the Lord's not got a magical weapon because he's got the virtue of heroism.
So it's only really your wizards' attacks and the Grail Knights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Plus
they're the only 2 units that got the threat against ethereal. But I mean, to be fair, you don't see much ethereal in the VC list at the minute.
No, well, it's not. It's not.
Has your Lord not got the Grail Vow?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's got magic attacks. So yeah,
he'll have
him
magical
as well,
attacks. Plus the unit that the prophetess goes in gets magical attacks.
Yeah, from being with her.
Yeah, so actually, like, ethereal's not really a concern, is it?
No.
You don't. The most you see is a little tiny unit anyway that wouldn't really do a lot. I don't think.
It's not the. It's the only real ethereal that's a threat currently that you need to worry about for most armies is the Green Knight.
Yeah.
I think he's the ethereal threat that people need to make sure they've got magic attacks for.
Yeah, because it's spirit hosts or banshees. Banshees are there for the scream.
Yeah, you don't see many other ethereal stuff at the minute. To be fair, it's not big in the meta.
The ghost frog.
The ghost frog. Yeah, but it's like, you don't need to build lists for a lot of things like for that though. Do you? As a big worry. Yeah. But that said, actually, you've got a lot of counters to it in there.
Yeah.
I like the list.
A little bit of everything.
I like the list though. Like it is.
Army wide 5 or 6 at ward, 5 at ward's always going to do you reasonably well anyway.
Of course it is. I mean, I like the list. It leans into the theme as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it is total. I'm going in your face.
Yeah, it doesn't hold back from what it is.
No. Everything's about being turn 1, everything goes forward. Charge if you can. If you can't, you're just going forward. And because you've got counter charge, it doesn't matter if you then get charged as much. You're just like, don't care.
Yeah, to a point. Yeah.
Because if something's charging you from that range, their odds on probably going to have counter charge to a degree anyway.
What is it the errants don't have?
First
as in
charge?
They don't have either counter charge or first charge. That's one of them that don't have.
They don't have counter charge. They have first charge, but they don't have counter charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to move United the Realm and stuff up to the front, and they then.
But your other big blocks do though, don't they? So
yeah. But unless you're going up against other cavalry that's got a good range, if there's anything infantry, chariots to a degree, you just stay that 13 inches away or whatever it is and just,
Yeah. I mean, your threat range is predominantly bigger than whatever you're playing against.
Yeah.
Yeah. And more reliable with the reroll of wands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I appreciate mine and Stan's list were pretty similar. But very different list from yours. But I think this shows, actually, I think both of these Arcane Journal lists are usable.
I think they're both very, very good.
I think as well, go back to the ground a bit, with the Finest Warhorse rule as well, where you're getting rid of your wands and things, you get to re-roll your wands with Finest Warhorses.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, you've got such a good chance, and then you re-roll your Dangerous Trains, I think, don't you? So it's unlikely they're going to fail or die.
Oh, your grills are very, very, very reliable with that item, especially.
Well, they're a very expensive unit, but...
Yeah, you don't want to see a bombard go straight down the line of them.
Ah, they've got a ward, it's fine.
Yeah, Reese. They've got an armor save against it as well.
Yeah.
Bombard's -3. They're on a 2-up Grill Knights, aren't they? No, 3.
No. 3 up.
3 up.
So they get a 6 up. They get a 6 up, 5 up.
Heavy armor.
Not to be sniffed at, to be fair.
No, but they're good. I like the Arcane Journal for...
Yeah, well, I mean, for just so people can see while we're on there, I'll just scroll down. Like, I went for the Green Knight. What's interesting about him, doesn't have Swift Stride.
Yeah.
He's got everything else, so...
He's got every other rule, virtually.
He's for 275 points, he's very, very good. Not broken, but very, very good.
And
I think so far, he's certainly in the 2 Arcane Journals we've done, he's definitely the best special character.
I think
right,
he's, at the minute, he's very good because everyone is taking small units.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, if we went into that Empire unit that I normally take.
No, not just that, but for blocking out. If you've got a bit of natural terrain close to your deployment zone, people aren't taking units big enough to block it out.
Yeah.
No.
The other one I just want to sort of mention that none of us took, not that special character, he's a chump. The lady Elise Duchard.
I tried to fit her in.
Because I actually think she's really good.
I think she's brilliant.
And like she's an absolute dispel monster.
Yeah.
Like she's probably the best dispelling character in the game. But no, probably. She is the best dispelling character in the game. The fact that she can... Any double she rolls when dispelling is essentially irresistible. And she dispels as a level 4, even though she's only a level 3. I think is very...
And you have 2 signature spells, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
You're missing the best bit. Any double wedge she dispels causes a wound.
Yeah, you lose a wound.
Yes.
It's not like you get anything, you just lose a wound.
Not only does it stop it, it causes a wound on them. Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
yeah.
I did miss
And she's
that
not
bit.
massively expensive.
225 points. I actually think she's really well costed.
And I'm assuming she's level 3, so she goes in the outcast list.
Yeah, would you mean including any
list?
Oh, no,
any
but
list?
I'm assuming they put her as a level 3, so it kind of
It
fits
fits a
with
bit
that
better.
level.
Yeah, maybe it's...
So that doesn't matter because she can go in any list. She's
Oh,
not
no,
an
but just kind
outcast
of
wizard.
fits with the list.
The restriction is you can only take an outcast wizard.
No, I'm saying it just from a fit point of view. I see what Andy's saying from from a thematic point, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think dispelling is a level 5, which is be
broken.
But 5 wounds as well. Toughness 4.
Yeah, it's like decent in combat if she has to get stuck in with her unicorn.
And the aura of -2 to leadership tests for any abilities.
Yeah, that's quite big.
Yeah.
Especially when you get close to like undead and stuff like that. They're not doing much of their bringing back.
I just think she's genuinely a very, very... again, none of us put her in our list, but I think if I were to really actually look to build a Brett list, I'd be tempted to get her in. I'd genuinely look to possibly get her in my list, to be honest. I think she's a powerhouse.
Well, to be fair, she's 26 points cheaper than my level 4.
Yeah.
A version of my list had the one Baron in and the Green Knight and her.
Yeah. And I think that's a good combo, if I'm honest.
And she's a beautiful model.
Oh, the model is stunning.
Yeah.
That's
terrified. I would be terrified to paint it.
Oh, I couldn't do a good job on it. That's for sure. But I do think as a combo of special characters, the Green Knight, like the Brett's got some winners. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when so far we compare these ones to the ones in the Tomb King Arcane Journal. Like I don't really think you can compare them. I think the Brett ones are comfortably better.
Well, yeah.
Is there any special characters in there?
Yes, see. Tomb Kings, have you ever seen anyone take any of the special characters?
I was going to say, is there any special characters in there?
As we said last time, I've seen one army run Royal Host and it had both Cetera and Nick Caffin.
And did it do well?
No. No. Because they're rubbish. As we discussed previously.
Whereas the Brett, you've got 2 of them that are both
genuinely good.
Easily fit in the list.
You could easily see you taking those over the generic characters, and I think in the Tomb King one you can't.
The Green Knight and the Enchantress woman, that's 500 points.
Bargain.
two very good characters.
Absolute bargain.
You know that and a tooled up Duke, and you still got some, not a lot, but you got that.
Yeah, but the point is, though, in a list, you could take all three of those characters. You could go for the Duke, like your build Duke, for example.
Yeah.
You could go for either one, depending on how the meta goes.
Yes, yeah, or the Ogre Blade Duke. But either way, you could go for either
or
one.
a Baron.
Or Baron, yeah. But you go for the one big generic character, Green Knight and her, and actually you look at that as a threesome combo and you think that is a powerful lineup of characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not what we're talking about today, but I think that we all know Bretts are an incredibly good army at the moment. They're top tier. A lot of that is the 360 threat of Pegasus and flying characters.
Yeah, massively.
Like, that's the real power of the Bretonnia list currently.
If Pegs didn't have the 360 charge arc, I don't think you'd see anywhere near as many of them at events.
Yeah, I think you'd still see them because they're good. And you'd still see characters on Pegs because they're good.
I think you'll see them as well, because a lot of people that got back into Old World got the starter sets.
Yeah, I think the thing that makes them borderline broken is the 360 vision.
Yeah.
I've seen multiple things to deal with Pegs. There's talk about give them loner, so the characters can't join them.
Interesting.
Which still makes them good, but not
Not as good.
Yeah.
Or even if you lost Swift Stride on them, to make them slightly less.
Yeah, I mean, I think there does need to be. I mean, not that I'm a big fan of changing core rules by any stretch, but I do think they're a bit too good. I think they are. We don't say too good very often. Like amongst ourselves, do we? We say very good, because I think there's a difference between very good and too good. And I think Pegs and peg-mounted characters in the current rules are arguably too good.
Yeah, because the other things that we'll say are too good have got weaknesses. You look at the Peg Knights and the characters, you look at where's the weakness.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. You take the characters away and they're not as good.
No, but they are still very... I think the biggest thing is the 360 vision.
Yeah.
It's just outrageous.
I'll put it this way: would you, for 4 Peg Knights with a banner and a champion, would you pay 350 points?
Yeah.
So that's putting 100 points on that unit.
Yeah,
25 points a model, and you'd still take it.
Yeah, of course you would, because that's how good they are.
I think especially when you combine it with an outcast list with the Vanguard and the potential to go first, it's a massive boost in an outcast list.
Yeah, they're much more scary in an outcast list than a regular Brett list.
Yeah,
I think it's
in a regular list. You've got your first turn to kind of set up, deal with that threat. With an outcast list, if they go first after Vanguard, and you're like, well, that's a problem.
Mm.
And they don't need Vanguard that much because of their 19-inch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they have to go 10 inches forward. They don't.
Yeah. No, they can go far enough forward that if you don't get first turn, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think maybe even 25, 30 points per model on top of them.
Well, they're so good at the moment, people would pay that. Like, they genuinely are.
But it would make you go from having 2 units of 4 to maybe a unit of 5.
Yeah, potentially just one smaller unit, one bigger unit kind of thing, rather than 2 combined.
Yeah.
They're very, very good for the points. There's no getting away from that. Very, very good.
The same as Dragon Ogres. They're too good for the points.
I think Pegs are better than Dragon Ogres.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, for me, the Dragon Ogre thing should just be you can only have a champion per 3 models in a unit.
You shouldn't really take solo champions.
Around. That makes no sense.
But I suppose that will come up in one of our forthcoming journal reviews.
Where I'm sure we will have Dragon Ogres.
Oh, I mean, literally nothing more certain in the world. But I think that is roughly the end of our Bretonnian Arcane Journal review. I mean, we haven't gone in and out of all the rules because we know how good Bretts are. This is just us chatting about the list we would take if we were to run this list. Like, you will see stands on the board at some point shortly.
And the next one will be a short one.
Orcs and Goblins next.
Is it honest?
You were saying you were the ones. Sam was skipping his own faction.
He was trying to make a dwarf joke and got carried away.
I know.
God damn it! Yeah, I forgot that it's.
You've got your own army. It's your army.
Yeah.
You're our resident Orc and Goblin player, and you forgot about your own army.
I haven't forgotten about them. I've done a lot of them.
You're so excited to talk about short people with beards because you've got a fetish like that.
It's because that new model came out.
That new model is really nice.
Syndrome.
I really do. I'll be buying that model. It's really nice.
It is so nice. And the dwarves, you can do a lot of fun things there.
Yeah, well, I think obviously in 2 times, so that's the end of this one, episode 2 of our Arcane Journal reviews. But next one will be Orcs and Goblins out in a few weeks' time. Hopefully, by the time this one lands, you will have had another battle report out.
So Beastmen Warriors of Chaos should be out this Sunday. I need to finish a few bits off, but it's pretty much good to go. Upload tomorrow for you to then do it on Sunday.
A disgusting pair of people. People who play Chaos. Animals. Bad people.
Then we've got a day of recording booked in.
Yeah.
We have. To get Stan finally on the channel.
I know, people can see him, how much of a cheat he is in the flesh rather than just Andy and my...
Well, to be fair, they've all seen how much Scott cheats. Yeah, they've got this rule. We're just going to play it this way.
I played one rule wrong once and you just get tarred. It was the first time I bloody used them as well, wasn't it? Crap.
Yeah, you didn't think they were good with skirmish. They're even worse now.
I know. They weren't even good when you're cheating with them. But with that, we'll end our Bretonnian Arcane Journal review and say thank you very much for those people who are listening. As ever, love to hear your thoughts on it, either in the comments or on our Facebook page, whatever. We'd love to get your feedback and your thoughts on our lists.
Yeah, I think that's it. Again, event news coming up soon as well.
By the end of November, we will be doing, hopefully, a podcast launching our next pack and our next event, which will be coming up in 2025.
It's crazy. 2025.
It's going to be here before we know it.
Honestly, time just passes by.
Especially for the man of time.
Well, yes, indeed. When you've seen eons like I have, the lives of you people just pass in the blink of an eye.
The oldest man in Warhammer.
Honestly.
You're never going to live that down, are you? That's with you forever now.
No. Well, with that, we will bid you good night, everyone. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.